Joining us now, defense attorney Misty Marris. Misty, good to have you here. We don't know the specifics of the alleged misconduct, but just generally speaking, is juror misconduct enough to get a conviction thrown out? What is that threshold?
So yes, Anna, juror misconduct is very, very serious in New York, and it can be anything from extraneous information that's prejudicial coming into the courtroom, or it could be as severe as coercion or something of that nature. And if that issue is material to something in the case, then it can absolutely overturn a conviction. However, the criminal procedure law is very clear. Evidence of jury misconduct cannot be speculative. It cannot be hearsay. There has to be some tangible evidence for the judge to take the next step and have a hearing and investigate. Here, while we don't know the details, from what we're seeing, the prosecutor's response, Judge Marchand's comments, it doesn't appear that there's that tangible evidence that exists.
Trump's lawyers are saying that these allegations came to light after a juror reached out to them. How unusual is that?
So there's always an investigation from a defense perspective to the extent that evidence arises of potential misconduct. Of course, in your due diligence as a defense attorney, you're going to look into that. So if a juror reaches out and says, often what we see, especially in today's media era, is that something from outside the courtroom, media-wise, came in, text messages, social media posts, all very objective, right, whether or not it exists. So a juror reaching out, certainly a defense attorney would investigate that. But it doesn't seem like this particular instance didn't get to the point of executing an affidavit or a sworn statement by that juror that would serve as the basis for this type of application.
Yeah, in fact, at this point, there is no sworn statement, is what the DA is saying. And the Judge Marchand, signaled that his hands are tied for now. He writes this, quote, allegations of juror misconduct should be thoroughly investigated. However, this court is prohibited from deciding such claims on the basis of mere hearsay and conjecture. And he noted if Trump did move to dismiss the verdict on these grounds, well, then maybe he would have to take action. So what does that mean?
Right.
What's next?
What if Trump were to move on those grounds in a motion to dismiss? There would have to be a sworn statement by this juror. And what we know right now is that prosecutors have said that the juror has told them the individual contests what the Trump team has put in that letter. So what would be in a sworn statement would dictate how this case moves forward. That does not exist at this point. And that's why you hear Judge Marchand saying he can't move forward with any sort of evidentiary hearing because the Trump team has not reached that threshold yet. If there were to be a motion, it would have to be supported by an affidavit or some type of sworn testimony.
Evidence. That is the key in all cases. Thank you very much, Misty Marris. It's good to see you here.
Thank you.